Dude, this is a
Ooh.
Cold Cuts first. This is a Yola Swag Studios first. We have a female comedian. Okay, this is huge. This
I'm
is
shocked.
huge.
Welcome.
This is huge.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome, Brooke Elliot.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah,
You
very good to have
perform
you
under
on.
that name, or you got like a libre, like some cool
No, I
name?
perform under that name.
Okay.
Unless y'all have any suggestions that I'll add
I
to
like
the
a libre.
list.
A
libre.
is
A
cool.
libre?
Okay.
Yeah, that could be dope.
Do
That sounds cool.
is your primary medium like do you do stand up or do you like doing skits and videos and stuff?
I mostly do stand up. I feel like I'm in a transitional phase of like knowing what I like to do more, but I've been doing more
Trans.
vides. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crisp.
yeah.
You know, I was
trans
telling
comedy.
Harris, but you remind us of, well, me at least, of an mutual friend that we have that's a famous comedian in Australia right now.
Oh,
That
that's
I
cool.
I think she would wish to switch places with you and do comedy in the U.S. I think
Oh, okay.
I think she moved to Australia thinking they're Aussies, they're morons. I'll just roll in and kind of
Aussies are
take over.
crazy.
They are
They're
wild.
crazy.
Yeah,
They are
it's
wild.
true.
Yeah, I don't even know how I'd hold up over there. It seems brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're ripping into people, which is
Oh, yeah.
fun. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, New York is kind of crackhead too. Like there's a lot
Mhm.
of I mean, even the normal people sometimes you meet and you're just like, holy shit, you are fucking weird,
Yeah.
dude.
Unless you're in
Yeah.
Bushwick. Well, it's like a different
No,
type of
that's
weird.
possibly the worst area.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's like
It's a softer weird though. I feel like
Mhm.
it
the
is,
Australians are
yeah.
a little more hardy.
Totally.
Yeah.
Bushwick's
What
like soyed out.
it's very soyed out. I used to think
Based.
if I
Based.
if I was ever like in like I like not I guess it's a nightclub, but it was like a nightclub in Bushwick, so it was kind of like you knew the vibe and all the lights would be off and there was just like
Mhm.
do 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 and everybody's like dancing and I would just be like I was just thinking like what if the lights just turned on right now? Like I like just like and like having a look around and just being like holy shit, like who are these?
Yeah.
What is going on
Everyone
here?
Disgusted.
just like scatters like cockroaches.
Yeah.
Gotta
When the
think
lights
so,
on.
yeah.
Just, ugh,
A
ugh.
Do
lot
you know
of
what do you know
yeah.
what club it was? Club?
There was a place that was called 444, and there was and also
I
Boss.
know where you're talking about.
Is there a place
Yeah.
like Bossa Nova? Did I make that name up?
No, that's a place
That's the
too.
place too.
I
Yeah,
thought that
and
was a
that
Brazilian restaurant.
it was not Brazilian to my eyes. It just
Oh.
I
looked.
thought it was a dance type as
It's
well, but
definitely a dance. Yeah, it was
That's
like
a
a dance.
Brazilian chain here, Bossa Nova. Yeah, it is a dance also.
Yeah, it
But
was. I mean, it was cool. I didn't really like. That's not usually my scene, like going to stuff like that. But it is fun every once in a while. You go out
you know,
there.
you showed me some pictures of New York City Harris, and I beg to differ what that guy's scene was. Okay, you had the dyed hair, it was crop cut, you had an earring.
It was a little,
This is
yeah,
Bushwick
a
mode,
little
man.
ridiculous.
yeah,
I was full Bushwick
Bushwick
mode.
mode.
sure.
How long have you
Everyone
been
has
out
to
there,
go
Brooke?
through that.
I've lived here. I'm originally from New York, and then I lived in Florida for a while, and then
Nice.
came back. So I've lived here for about 8 years since I've
So
come
you're like
back.
an OG
Nice.
New Yorker.
Yes, but I feel like New Yorkers don't consider me that because they're like, "Oh, you lived in Florida for half your
No,
life."
I've
Oh, I
heard that if
see.
you live there 7 years, you're officially a New Yorker. That's what I've heard.
Okay.
I didn't
Well,
make
okay
it
then,
that
yeah.
far. Then there you go. Yeah, that's great.
Or if you see a rat get killed on the subway, that's also the other initiator to what makes you a New
Totally.
Yorker. Yeah, 100%.
That's
100%.
Do
huge.
do you feel like you have you found a better community on actually in the scene in New York where you're doing stand up, or do you feel like you have a better community online with your followers and people who don't necessarily live in New York?
That's such a great question. I feel like in the stand-up scene, at least the way it is now and the way I've been in it, I like am very comfortable and feel very supported in that group. I think that the reach that you can get on the internet and like on Instagram specifically, I think is more, I don't want to say more rewarding, but it's nice to be able to connect with people that you have never met, you don't know who you are, or like just find you through other people.
Hmm.
Um, so I think I enjoy that more, but it's kind of hard to. And when I started doing, I did Instagram. I did Instagram. I'm not like successful at all on there, but over quarantine, I posted a lot of TikToks. It was almost like a meme farm, and I
Hmm.
got a lot of like feedback from that. people would message me and be like, "Oh my God, thank you so much for posting this. Like I like look forward to it." I still get that kind
Oh,
of
really?
feedback.
That's great. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
You know,
Yeah.
Harris asked me earlier how we met, and the meme farm is kind of how. But Harris, you know, you hit me up recently and you were like, dude, some guys are just posting my stuff uncropped. It's getting me a little spicy. It's getting me a little angry. You know how you were telling me that?
Yeah.
This particular day, I had a banger comic. I forget which one it was, but it was going banger mode. And it was one of those ones where like 5 minutes after I posted it, I was seeing uncropped pictures of it being posted. And I was just like, this is back when I was much less calm. Okay. I was a little rough around the edges, a little angrier. And
hot-headed.
yes, I saw like 10 people post it uncredited, and I was losing it, dude. And I was just like DMing them like, yo, you mind tagging me, boss? Yo, you mind fucking tagging me? Yo, you mind fucking tagging me? And I don't even remember if the one you posted necessarily was uncredited, but if it was, I'm assuming, I'm sure you like a lot of times with memes like that, if it's like big, people will see the one that was uncredited and just assume that's the original and post it.
Mhm.
But Brooke, managed to pop up on my timeline or something where she had posted it, and I was just like, I came into her DMs so hot, dude, so hot, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Can you fucking tag me in this bitch? And she was just like, oh,
I was like, I already did.
Yeah, like she
Yeah,
was
I
like-
already did.
totally nice about it, and I was just like, oh, I'm such an asshole. I am
That's
such
all
an
right.
asshole. But it turned into a beautiful Instagram friendship.
I know, yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved watching you grow as a young woman. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful.
Old
Thank you so
old enemies
Yeah.
become new friends.
Yeah.
We talked for like 3 days afterwards because I was like, oh, you do comedy, blah blah blah, and then I was like, yeah, this chick's cool, I'll be your friend. And then I remember it was your birthday, but as like a joke, you were someone posted like happy 14th, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
I remember hitting you up like, yo, how old are you?
Oh my
just-
God.
16.
Yeah, I was like sweating bullets, dude. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's
Yeah.
not good. That's not good. But yeah, that's
Like,
that's,
you're all over Reddit right now. You're going
Yeah.
to jail.
Hey. But that's the origin of the YOLO Brooke universe colliding.
Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah. I would never want to throw shade at like the type like meme pages that are just meme aggregates, right? Like not necessarily somebody who's because all of us are unfortunately it's a dark reality that all of us are kind of like meme content
sure.
creators, you know what I mean? But
Sure.
we're actually at least not to be pious, but at least the three of us are actually like making things as
Well, hey,
opposed to
she's still a meme farmer, okay?
No,
I mean,
well,
I have my roots.
yeah, right. But you actually are like a comedian and you're making a
Right.
name for yourself, like stuff that you're making. But I
Right.
just like, and it's like, I actually know I've communicated with a lot of nice people who share my memes or my comics and stuff and their meme. But it's just like at the end of the day, just being like a meme aggregate, it's just like, the ones who do crop my name out and shit, I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? Like what are you doing with your life? Like what is this shit? I just like it's like, oh wow, it must be so hard to just collect memes and post them. Like, I mean,
Well,
you know what I
you
mean?
were
Just
saying
find
the other
funny
day,
stuff.
Wasn't someone literally like, I made this?
Yeah.
When they posted your shit, dude, I would have lost
really
control.
That's the thing. I saw some dude, and I actually did. I didn't lose my cool, but I did send him a message because it was like he didn't crop my name out. It still said my shit in there, but he posted it and he was like, he said something. Well, the other thing is that he was a Venezuelan guy, and so everything was in Spanish. So like, it may have just been like a. I don't know if he understood what he was doing, but he basically all of the posts that he put on there because I scrolled through his page were comics by other people, but he would write like by his name was like Mr. Yort or something like that. But can you imagine like every time you posted something, anything, you were just put by on it? Like it felt very boomer, and I don't think he was trying to be malicious. I think he
Right.
was just saying like, "Oh, this is my post" or something like that. But I'm like, do you understand how misleading that is when you're posting somebody
Right.
else's art and you're writing by you on? I sent him some whole fucking long-winded message in English, and he probably picked it up and he was like, "Okay," like just had no
Yeah,
fucking
right.
like, what is this shit? But
Where is
that's
this?
whatever. No biggie.
I'm proud of you, bro. You fought through it.
I
You
guess.
survived.
For sure.
You survived.
It's cringe. Yeah.
I know a lot of like comics here are like more apt to call out stuff on Twitter in particular. Like sometimes they'll get credited. Well, there was this whole thing that happened a couple months ago where someone was posting, someone got retweeted by like Popeyes or something like that, like a big company. And they were DMing Popeyes and they were like, I want monetary compensation for this tweet that you stole from me. And so like people
Did they
really
steal
are
the
like,
tweet, or
Dang.
did Popeyes retweet the tweet?
I think they took, you know what? I can't remember. It was one of the two. And I need to, let me go back to my books and
That's all
come
right.
back with that. Because it does change the story.
Yeah. But dude, there's people like that who like, even if like they get retweeted, they're like, yo, where's my money? And it's like, dude, that's a Twitter function. Like,
I know.
That's just, you can't get paid for that.
I know. I'm just throwing shade left and right here, but it's also like, like I see people sometimes when they tweet something and it has like 250 likes and they're like, holy shit, man, like thank you for all the love, like please like follow me, check out my t-shirt company, like all this crazy shit. And I'm like, man, 200 likes, dude, is
the
so,
best
you
is
sold
when
early.
they do that in your tweet. Like their response to your tweet gets a lot and they're like, this is blowing up, like, dude, come and support me. And it's like, dude, you're insane, what are you doing?
Not good.
Dude?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's an unfortunate thing. I was telling Zach this yesterday also, that just like it feels like every time I post something, it's like, because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I need to get some money coming in. So if I post something that's just like, hey guys, I'm selling t-shirts or whatever, I like lose 20 followers, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I'm like, come on, man, like I'm just trying to get my bag just like the rest of you. It's like people don't want to see that shit. They do not want to be sold.
You're not
shit
even
at
that
all.
annoying about it. I feel like I'm the one who's always like, please give me money, please.
I'm self-conscious, I think, is the problem. But
my sweet boy.
Yeah, it's hard to advocate for yourself in that way, I think.
It's
that's
very
like
hard.
I can't even imagine as like because I did stand-up comedy for like 1 week, and that was like just the pressure it put on my mind to like, yeah, you should look at my stuff, guys, hey, check out this set. It was like I could not handle it. It was horrific.
Yeah, it's hard blending live to the internet, because I feel like it's when you're doing it in a community or like in a scene, it's easier to be like, okay, cool, you're seeing my stuff, you'll book me on your shows, and you'll see me, you'll book me, you'll see me, you'll book me. And it's like a lot of word of mouth and whatnot. But when it transfers into like, book me, here's all my stand-up clips, it feels a little bit different. Sorry, like a car crash in front of me.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wait, the car crash just distracted me. I was like about to. I had a question. Anyway, sorry, Zach.
What everyone here is wondering, okay, female comedian.
Yeah.
Don't breasts get in the way of trying to tell jokes? A lot of guys, women can't.
Well, I take them off.
Before you get
that
on.
makes sense.
I take them off before I get on there.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally makes sense. That answers the question.
Any other questions you have?
That was my question too, actually. Well, I was just thinking, like, I've never done stand up. I'd be too fucking petrified. Like, I just cannot. And I actually like have done stuff on stage before. Like did some acting in high school and whatever, but it's like something about, I don't know, telling jokes and you're the only person up there is just like if we're on podcast and I say something that I think is funny and no one laughs, I'm like up all night. Like, I cannot believe I fucking said that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just can't imagine having to like, and I know every comedian has a story of bombing on stage.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like having it like, does something pop into your mind of like the worst bomb you've had?
Oh, give us.
Oh man. Okay, so I have a bomb that's not stand-up related but performance related, where I was doing a podcast. Like, I've done some like voiceover work for like some like narrative podcasts. It's been super fun. And I got this opportunity to do this thing through my friend, and it was like I had to do a celebrity impression, but they didn't really give me much like information about it. So I just went into like this big, I didn't realize it was like a big deal. So it was like this big production studio, and I'm in there with like this actress, and I'm like, underprepared, like not prepared at all. And I was so nervous that I kept saying a line wrong, and they were laughing, and I thought that I was doing really good. And I was like,
Oh no.
I was like, I was
I'm
spelling.
crushing this.
I was like, yeah. They were like, do it again. And I was like, okay. And I can't remember. I think I was spelling something wrong. It was like I had to spell C, like seafood or something like that. Like I was playing a cashier or something. So instead of saying SEA, I kept saying CEA. And everyone was like, you're so. And I felt fucking retarded, if I could say that.
I'm sorry that happened to you. Yeah, that's
You no longer can perform in Bushwick after saying
it was bad. I know. I feel like this is a safe space. Am I wrong?
No, for sure. We're both retards here. It's totally, you're in safe hands.
Yeah, it's fine. Did we hit the 10-minute mark before we can say the retard word? I think.
Can you bleep it out?
I might throw a little bleeps on there. I'll throw a little bleepies, and then on the next one
you're monetized.
We can get into it. We're not even monetized on this, but
okay, you're just practicing.
I'm pretty sure it was a jealous ex of the guy we had on, but we had our old college buddy on, and it got like put behind an 18+ wall the whole episode, but it was
why
that episode. I don't know because it wasn't worse. It was even like more tame. I feel like than some of the other ones we did, but
there was the content was not like fucked up in any way.
No, I don't think. I really think this dude's ex saw it and was like, "I'm reporting this" or something. I'm convinced, but I don't know.
That's so strange.
It was a little sussy.
It was a little weird, yeah. I don't understand the I mean, I was trying to figure this out. This is not really exciting, but I was like, I really wanted to put like a music intro on our thing. And I was wondering, it's like, can you just like use a cheap karaoke cover of a song on your shit, or will that get copyright?
Well, until you're monetized, it doesn't matter. So we could do literally any song.
Anything.
I know you really wanted the chiptune version of Ocean Man.
I think you can do that.
Yeah,
I see why that's not public domain.
Yeah.
I found this crazy YouTube channel when I was looking it up that the dude has like thousands of videos of him doing chiptune, like video game covers to popular songs, and also songs that are not popular, like deep fucking cuts. But he had like Livin' La Vida Loca in chiptune on there, and I was like, this would be so good.
Send that my way, bro. We're throwing that on. We need the Livin' La Vida Loca.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Dude, I'm working on a new set of trading cards, and one of them is the Livin' La Vida Loca card based on my Ricky Martin comic. And you know Relicom, right, Harris?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, can I commission you, blah blah blah, and he's like, I'll do it for free, and I'm like, no, I'll throw you $25. And he's been sending it to me, and dude, he's, you know how he does like painting, dude, it literally looks like it should be a fresco on the top of like the Sistine Chapel, with like how detailed it is, but the subject matter is just Ricky Martin having sex with a man's ass. And it's like, it's so weird how beautiful it's done. Like literally I hear angels whenever I look at it. I'll send it to you later.
He's an unbelievable artist. Yeah, he's so good.
He's talented.
Brooke, have you noticed this like thing? I don't know. I guess it feels like this ongoing drama, but also it feels a little bit like a media psyop that we're supposed to care about, but it probably doesn't matter. Let's like talk about it. that like Twitter and Instagram are pushing reels, and that you can't get like photos to get trending anymore or something like that. Have you noticed that?
For sure.
I feel like that's like a good thing for somebody who's like doing because your work and your humor translates really well to video, right? Like, yeah. And TikToks, like people keep telling me to make a TikTok, and I just don't even know what the fuck I would do. I just I don't know.
Downloaded the app and literally almost had an aneurysm trying to figure out how to use it, dude. You're supposed to tag stuff, and then my friend's like, and if you want, you do this FYP tag if you want everyone to see it. And I was like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah. TikTok is okay. So I have a friend who is pretty popping on TikTok, but not for comedy, for other things. And she was telling me that the way that TikTok works is when you have an account and you post things, it goes to 2 sets of like test groups. Depending on how the test group goes, they'll kind of because they aggregate all of these user data based off the likes and shares and whatnot with what you like. So it's like if a video of yours gets sent to a group of people and 4 of those people interact with it, then those 4 people have their own set of data that they then take more people and send it to another group and another group and another group. And so there's like ways to kind of game the system in that way. But as for like Twitter and Instagram is like dying, I think, as a platform, and very slow decline.
Good.
Yeah.
And that's why they've really pushed for Reels to be a thing. And like they're trying to, Facebook and the metaverse all like I don't think the big wigs like know what they're doing, but they see how popular and how incredible TikTok has been. And even that is going to bubble up at some point where it's like
I feel like it already is.
that.
Like, your friend you're talking about, do they do TikTok like full time? Are they living off of it? You said they're pretty successful.
She makes money off of it for sure.
She does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because my buddy, and I hate to shit talk him. He's a really great dude. He's really cool, and he's also named Zach. But he plays violin and does like rap covers. Like his big one is Lollipop, but played on his violin, and he went like mega viral in India or something. So he has like a bunch of like Indian. I think he's up to like 20K on like Instagram just from his TikTok. But
For sure.
But I've noticed like he'll maybe only get like 10 likes on some posts. Like now that like the fame has kind of died down like a week later. So I feel like that shit's like very fleeting. I know a lot of people think like TikTok is it. TikTok is it, but I don't think so, dude. I don't think so.
I mean,
I could be wrong. I could be
wrong.
No,
I think there's something to that, because you do have these people who are the like this is what I think most TikTokers aspire to be, is that you get this one hit, like the dude that was on the skateboard drinking the cran apple or whatever, and then fucking Oceans. Now I think he's sponsored by Ocean Spray, and
people
he's just like
flip it. Yeah.
It's like crazy. But I think that dude is probably like apex TikToker, because he did something that was just this one thing that went absolutely viral. It was super easy. It cost him $2 to buy the fucking cran apple juice, and now like the dude is probably making money off sponsorship deals and shit like that. But that aside, I think anything on the internet, TikTok, I mean, like I feel the same way about posting stuff, also like drawings and stuff. The half-life of content on the internet is literally like 22 hours, and then nobody cares anymore. And now you're back to, okay, I got to make something else if I want to like keep it up. So I think TikTok is, I don't know, that there's something to it. Like it is a cool app. I am not one of these boomers that hates TikTok, but like all of this stuff, in my opinion, should just be used as a springboard to get off the internet and get like a big girl job.
Get a real job.
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of. I mean,
I totally hear you. I feel like do you guys ever post these like clips of this show on TikTok?
Probably a good idea.
Instagram, though.
TikTok honestly would probably be a really good, like I get targeted a lot. So I don't do TikTok. Like I'm more like a voyeur of TikTok and like a purveyor, and I really love it in that way. And you can kind of game it. Again, there's like ways to game it, but I get targeted with a lot of podcast clips, and they actually work very well for that app, because you're just getting like a preview of like, oh, what are they talking about? And I've gone to different people's Patreons or their YouTube channel. A lot of it kind of links back to YouTube. So it's like TikTok, you remember, well, like Vine was stunning in this like flash in a pan, like really beautiful thing where you only had 6 seconds to do something. This is kind of pushing it more. I think TikTok started at that, and it got pushed more towards like the long form stuff. So it's like TikTok gets farmed into YouTube, which is like, thank God we're going back to the OG, which is YouTube, obviously.
Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, long form shit feels like it's like it is what people go to YouTube for now. Like now you want to go on there. Like, you ever seen the meme that's like it's like this like old timey painting of 2 Native Americans, and they're like, white man was here, and they're like, he's like, how can you tell? And he's like looking at the ground, and it's like 45-minute video essay on internet creator like downfall or something like that. And it's so true though. Like that's all I fucking watch. Like I go on YouTube. YouTube used to be that thing where it's just like, oh, let me watch this fucking, have you seen this funny like 7-second video of a person falling off a table? But now people go on there and it's like, it's better than most streaming services. Honestly, I spend more time on YouTube than HBO or Netflix or any other crap.
For sure.
It's great for that. But but on the other side of it, we can also see from our little YouTube studio thing, when we're making videos, we might put up a podcast that's like 2 hours long, but I don't know how many people are listening to it all the way through. I think most people are just checking it out for a second,
Our average, I think, is like 15 minutes. Which
is
pretty good. That's
technically,
pretty good.
But then it's like a 3-hour pod. It's like, they're kind of just dipping in.
You're like, fuck me, I guess. That's
exactly. I know.
Cool. But, you're not interested.
When we got Vosh on, it was like all his homies, I think, watched most of it all the way through. So we need the Brookeites, the Brooke babies. When they see this, they're gonna have to watch the whole thing.
Let's see.
Get buddy Seth Simmons and get him to watch the whole thing. Give us a little review. You should talk to him about Bird Rap 2 or whatever. What was it? Spoken Bird Poetry.
What is that?
You know about this? Oh, dude, this you're not friends with this guy, right? Before I trash him a little bit. Okay, excellent. But this dude who was like coming after Norm Macdonald, he was like this wannabe comedian guy, and Norm just like reposted one of Seth's bits, and it's spoken word poetry. Yes, the bit is spoken bird poetry, and he sits in front of a screen for like 10 minutes cawing. And it's the worst, dude, the worst thing. Literally, like, if current day SNL saw it, they'd be like, this is gold. Which
iconic.
Tells you, which tells you this is absolutely garbage. But, you should collab with him on that. That could be cool. Make it like a...
I'm like, that sounds good to me.
I'm like, that's
I see nothing wrong with that.
Have you guys seen? I saw this like on Twitter. I think somebody had reposted it. This poor guy. He's just like it's this dude who was filming himself doing like a rap for his it's like a white guy like who's like doing this like rap for his SNL audition tape, and it's like directed at Lorne Michaels. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The guy who made the song, and he's like, you should hire me because
yes, and it's
the
like
internet destroyed.
Dude, it's like it's very soy, it's very uncomfortable, and you're just like, what the hell were you thinking with this shit, dude? Like he got absolutely but I was kind of thinking, I'm like, dude, this guy would be great on SNL. Like he's gonna fit right in with those other
That's so true. Well, someone was making an argument of like, this is, people take a lot of stuff very seriously, but they were like making this argument that like him getting destroyed by the internet was because of everyone's irony pilled. And so like there's like cringe has become like it's too big of a thing that like people can't feel free to be themselves or be authentic or be vulnerable in that way, which I disagree because I still think people do that anyway. But I like that. It was like, okay, it's an interesting point. It's like also it's a stupid song, so it's like
people coming up with that who are like, you just can't be free anymore. It's like, no, you can. You're a loser. And people can see you're a huge loser. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But anytime you see that type of shit, it's always like, no, dude, you just suck. That's literally the bottom line.
Well, the other reason it feels like I've been a little like irony poisoned is like when I watched that video of the guy doing this song, which is like really so cringe and over the top, that it almost felt like, is this a bit? Like,
totally.
Do you know what I mean? Like, is he doing this on purpose? And it's really hard to tell sometimes. There was another TikTok. If you're, I'm sure you've seen him if you're like spending a lot of time on TikTok. But remember the kid who does like the "Hi, I'm Charmander" and like all this, like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And he does, he like turns into a wolf and all this. It's like the most just like
that's killer.
It's killer. It's like the most like unbearable cringe you can imagine. But I'm like, this is a bit like this kid is really good at doing this like otaku like furry shit, you know what I mean? And like
it's brilliant,
which is hilarious. Like that, I mean, that is really cool. But the first time you see it, it's very jarring because you're like, this is a little too real.
Right.
Yeah, that shit's funny though.
I feel like I've gotten very throttled. I've like really, I watch a lot of extreme, I want to say like extreme reality TV or extreme reality in TikTok particularly. So like I don't get cringe for any, I almost have no secondhand embarrassment by people. I
Wait,
like, I really
what do you
love,
mean? What is an extreme reality TV? Like, what does that mean?
I
You
too,
talking
so
housewives?
I'm talking like Steve Wilkos, like
Okay,
who molested my baby, like you killed my brother, like
got it.
really, really, really intense emotional. And,
Holy
it's like
shit.
Jerry Springer pushes that. It's like I'm really like mainlined into on TikTok, like the 45-year-old horny women making karaoke
Yes,
videos. Like
yes.
that's a shit I like to see. Because like
Uh-huh.
don't you all wish you could be that free? Like there's something so beautiful about someone who's so unaware, but they are living their life and they want to be seen. Like the whole point of existing for people is to be seen and acknowledge that they exist. So it's like, dude, I
Yes.
love that stuff.
The but that my TikTok, I haven't been on TikTok in a long time, but over quarantine it was the same thing. I was like just sinking hours of my life
Totally.
into it, but there was nothing else to do. And like TikTok is crazy because when you first download it, the first week, I'd say, first week or so, you're being fed the most just like brain dead garbage, like pandering
Sludge.
sludge of
Yeah.
that TikTok has to offer with the robot voice, like top 10 things to
I
do when
hate
you're
that
like, I
voice,
can't
dude.
even fucking stand it. And like all of this stuff, the same trending song a million times. But if you're persistent and you keep feeding the algorithm, you like shit that you actually like,
For
you will
sure.
find yourself watching videos of rednecks with an android filming them
Hmm.
feeding a raccoon like really
Hmm.
quickly, like which is the good content, but you have to work to get there. And then
Absolutely.
but the TikTok algorithm, once you're in, baby, you are in. Like they stop feeding you the garbage and they only feed you videos that have 16 likes of like
It's brilliant.
it's insane. Yeah,
It's
it's
brilliant.
great. And that's the best side of TikTok. That is great.
Also, I
Um,
found like if you are getting for stuff on your For You page that isn't necessarily what you want, if you go back to the follows that you have and just start liking those, you'll get targeted right back
ah,
into the foil. Yeah.
that's interesting
Some
because
TikTok tips for our viewers.
TikTok tips,
TikTok
yeah.
tips.
But
Yeah.
the algorithm on TikTok is like some of the most, it's like the most robust algorithm I've
For
ever seen.
sure. I mean,
I
they're
mean,
taking all your data.
of course, but you know what? I don't know. I don't want to get into the fucking QAnon shit, but it's just I'm
I
not
don't
really.
care about it,
But
but yeah.
I just mean like I never understood why people were just like, don't you understand? China is gonna have your data. I'm like, what are they going to do with my? Well, I don't
Right.
fucking care.
Well, they know you
They're
like raccoons now, Harris.
yeah,
It's
good,
completely
good.
over for
Like
you.
I
You're
don't like.
fucked.
It seems way more frightening to me that like an American company like Facebook has all my fucking
For
data and shit. And
sure.
did you hear all these? Now I don't know if it's a conspiracy or if it's just fact, but that all of these like period tracking apps that girls use are actually like
I've heard
hoarding when
this.
you're going to be menstruating
I
or
heard
I've
some
this
heard
was
this.
weird.
a little overstate. I think people were freaking out a little bit. That's what I heard about this because
For
I don't think
sure.
there's a
Yeah.
guy literally like, yo, her pussy's not bleeding right now.
Right.
Send the
Uh-huh.
FBI. Send the FBI. Like, but that is weird though. That why is a period tracking company selling your data? You
It's
know what I
great. I
mean?
mean, right. Well, it's all to make. Oh, I think it says we have less than a minute on that.
Yeah,
Excellent. Yeah, well, I'll resend you a link. We
Okay.
refuse to buy premium Zoom. It's just not happening.
once we're monetized, we're all going way up.
Once we're making
It's gonna be great.
$5 a month, I'm in. You know, oh, so did either of you have anything to wrap up on the periods? Women bleeding. I think we were
This
pretty
was
much
this
at
was
end
the
of it.
only thing I was gonna bring up is there was did you guys ever see there was like an app like years ago, it was super popular. Who even knows if it exists anymore? But you can you could notify it, like track every time that you took a shit like on the road. Like if you were traveling and you took a shit in like a restroom or something, you
Which is
could
the
like
male period, pretty much.
right.
Right. For
It would
sure.
like put a pin on a map for you, and then you could look back on it and be like, "Oh, these are all the places that I've taken a shit." And it's like you just have this like globe map if you do a lot of traveling. It's kind of interesting. I think it was
That
called
a
like
George Costanza thing.
I think
It
it
sounds
could
like
be.
that.
I think the app was like I just dropped a bomb or something like that. I'm gonna find out what it was.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
But
do
if
a little research.
nobody said boo when fucking big Facebook was taking all of our shit data. They just you know what I mean?
They can have my
Double
shit data.
double
Right.
standard.
Double standards. I see what you're
It's
getting at.
true.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yo, Brooke, I'm curious. First of all, I'm assuming since you're like an actual stand-up comedian, I'm assuming you never heard of this, but do you know who Deaf Noodles is?
I do.
You do.
I'm a big YouTube head.
Okay, wow, this is awesome. Did you see his little manic breakdown?
I'm like, which one? No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
the one he just
Oh,
set up
jeez.
a comedy club. And he did
I
like
did
a
not know
roast
this.
battle. Oh my god, you missed out. It was the worst thing I have
That sounds
ever seen.
awesome.
It's on YouTube. You got to check it out. It's so bad. There's like a clip I got to send you guys where it's just so terrible. But
Oh my god, please.
this guy showed up on it that Harris and I went to school with, who he completely bombed for the few seconds he was on stage. But we checked out his podcast and he had this story about a creepy guy that reminded me of in college when there was like a stand-up place that you could drive like an hour away from school. It was called like the Idiot Box, and there was like 2 people there. It was one of those stand-up clubs. I'm sure you've been to one of these where it's like everyone in the audience is a stand-up comedian waiting to go on.
For sure.
Yeah, there's like
For sure.
no civilians in the audience.
No.
Just completely ass, terrible. Everyone,
Mhm.
no one is like wanting to laugh because they're too busy. Like, I need to write this joke.
Right.
I gotta be the funniest guy here.
Right.
And there was a guy there, I guess, who wasn't a comedian, some really old guy, and he went to the same place I worked at. But he would message me on Facebook and be like, "Hey, like, I think you're really talented. Like,
Okay, brag.
yeah. Hey. But no, he was like, I think we could work together. I think I can help you out. I think I can like help you tweak some stuff."
Oh,
And
boy.
but he was giving
Unsolicited
me
advice.
unsolicited advice, but giving me the creepiest vibes. And I also got so angry because one time he came in and then tipped me with 100, and then I was like, wow, dude, thank you. And he's
What?
like, look at it, and I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, no, look at the 100, and it was like a fake 100 that was like, haha. I was just like,
God.
dude, literally, I was livid. I was like,
That's so fun.
oh, yeah, that's cool.
Oh.
That's hilarious, dude. But my boss came over one day after he had been talking to me because he always came into our restaurant. He's a regular. Yeah. Well, I can make you famous. I can make you famous. You're so funny. And then my boss was like, "Oh, dude, that guy, dude, he's a hoot, bro. He paid me like $500 to jack off in front of him. He loves doing that. He loves guys jacking off in front of him." And I was just like, I knew it. I fucking knew there was something going
a
on with this
vibe.
guy.
It's a bad thing.
I bring this up not to brag that someone wanted to watch me jack off. Okay,
Right,
No,
well.
I'm not bragging, but I'm assuming especially as a chick, a gorgeous female comedian. How many run-ins have you had with freaks like that who are always trying to like do this, do that, show me your boobs? Like, I'm assuming that has to happen.
I have to say, in the scene that I'm in, the people are really respectful. Like, I don't really get much of that. If you go to Manhattan, I think you kind of open yourself up to more, because like there's factions of stand-up, right? It's like it's the Manhattan scene and the Brooklyn scene, and the stereotypes are that the Brooklyn scene is the alt comedy, and the Manhattan is like the old school, like old head talk, and it is toxic. Like it is
Really?
bad. It is like the energy is dark, and it's like we're all fucked up and we're all sad, but like that type of kind of angry, disgruntled energy is more Manhattan, and I don't really deal with that because I don't really do a comedy like that in Manhattan.
Do I go to Manhattan or Brooklyn if I want to hear the N-word? In Manhattan.
It's gotta be Manhattan. Yeah,
You write
definitely.
that
For
down real quick.
for sure.
Okay.
And there is something to be said about the non-PC like freedom to push the envelope, but because because people are unaware of how they come off and like the energy that brings, because like I love when people push the envelope. Obviously there's limits to it, and obviously there's a way to do it that's like you get
That's
more bang for
actually
your buck.
funny. Yeah.
That's actually funny, and it's like
Yeah.
you have to be smart. to say things that are offensive. You can just say it, but you're gonna look stupid, or you're gonna be mean, and that might not be what you want to come off as. But no, I rarely have had too many, like, if you're talking like gendered, like specific, feeling like kind of nervous about like myself in that way. I've been lucky in that. I will say in improv, because back in the day in New York, improv was like the big thing. You started out, well,
cringe.
Most people like,
so cringe.
That's where I've met the most fucked up people, and I fucking hated it. And it, like, doing that for a little bit, I was like, this is shit's evil. Like, I'm not dealing with these people anymore. And like really manipulative, nasty people were in that.
This is so reassuring, because I always feel like an actual funny person doesn't fit in an improv place, because there's no one funny.
No.
I mean, maybe back in the day when it was like Amy Poehler types, I know they kind of cut their teeth on the improv, but I've had multiple friends, the least funny person in the world, hit me up like, dude, I'm gonna be pretty big. I got into an improv class, like I'm doing improv now, and it's like,
they're like, can I pay you $500 to jerk off in
front of me?
A little callback. But what was like fucked up the vibe? They were just like completely fucked people.
Okay. I could really talk about this shit. This shit's really insane.
Give us something crispy.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Give us a Cold Cuts original.
So this shit is so fucked up. So my general understanding of improv, and because I did the UCB stuff, right, for a bit. I took 2 classes there, and it was like the teachers didn't know what they were talking, like they just were, it was like, something about me, I don't like being told what to do. That's just actually my bottom line, is like, I don't like school. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like being told what to do and like how to do something right, when it's like, this is a creative thing. Like, you don't have to fit into this box. And I think with improv, especially with like that old school UCB mindset, and there were other like schools of thought, but like they were way more rigid of like, you have to do X, Y, and Z. So yeah, I didn't really gel with that. And the people there, again, were kind of weird. I remember like I had just moved back to New York. I was like, what, 21 or 22? And I'd be like going into the city like by myself, like waiting in line to watch watch a Herald Night, which is like the big like type of comedy, like improv show. And just talk to people online, and they would just be like these freaky ass people, just like really trying to like hit, like really just being like, hey, and it's like, you're just trying to be yourself, but when you're young, it's like hard to like kind of, separate that. After I did UCB for a couple of years, I really didn't do it that long. There was another theater that was created by this guy who used to do stuff at another theater. So he was like this improv guy, and he turned out to be this huge fucking creep. He was sleeping with the students. He was abusing the people who worked for him. He was like, it was so fucking evil. It was evil. And he also was like a megalomaniac. So it's like, not only was he fucking all these students and like being really inappropriate and like playing grab ass in front of everyone, he was so insular. So no one was able to like do anything about it.
Cult-like.
Straight.
Like a cult, yeah.
Straight up. And he had later on, it was fun. Like, I was there for a little bit, and then I again was like, I don't like this. I'm like, I don't like this feeling. I don't like being here, so I'm not doing this anymore. And plus, a lot of people came out and they were like, I've had really bad experiences, blah blah blah. So like, I made a big deal about that, and I left from that. But it turned out later on, he had like Nest cameras installed.
Oh no! In the toilets?
Oh, come on, man.
Well, they were everywhere. It was basically like the second or third floor of this warehouse building. So it was like, there was like a studio in one section, and then there was like a lobby. It was almost like railroad style. So like you walk in, and then there's like the big theater, the lobby, and then the smaller theater. And also in the smaller theater, it's a big room. He put this fucking like 20 by 20 painting of, this is really sick, of a nurse with a pillow and a guy with his dick on the pillow And like back in the they this is in the room. This is in the improv room. So like I guess back in the day, if you had syphilis or something like that, a nurse would have to take 2 pillows and whack the pustules
right, because you
off
get the
your
goo.
dick.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So he had
disgusting.
He had that just hanging up. I was like, you're
so
sick.
zany.
That is
I'm
insane.
so
You're sick.
No, that's bizarre. What the
Sick.
fuck?
Jesus Christ, dude.
Sick. Yeah. And then there was a guy who, they also had these like, I wasn't a part of this stuff because I was like, again, I'm like, you guys, I don't want to get that close to you people. Not interested like that. They had like family meetings, or they had like group like town halls, which is also insane. Because like this is a school. Why are you doing this like class meeting?
It's also improv. Yeah, what the
fuck?
Right, yeah.
Which there's something I want to say about that. But there was this guy who was in the community who I remember from UCB, who was someone I had met previous. But he basically he had a girlfriend they were all in this, like, there was a lot of that kind of shit. Like everyone was hooking up, which like also freaks me out. Like that's too much shit already. It's like it's way too pressurized. So I guess he had a girlfriend who was in this improv thing with everyone. And basically they broke up, and then she was like, oh, he's making it really hard because he's being like really intense about their breakup. And the reason being that he wasn't supposed to be in the city because he was a convicted pedophile and was supposed to be on like house arrest in like Connecticut. And so he would like go to her place and say she had no idea. She had no idea. And then when they broke up, because he would like leave in the middle of the night and be like, oh my God, I have to go home because his fucking probation officer was going to come visit.
Oh my God.
Doing a little real life improv.
Seriously.
A little bit on that. And so they had this big town meet. This is all like secondhand, but they had this big meeting where they aired this in front of everyone. They aired this whole thing. And the guy who was running it was basically like, I know this guy's a really good guy. Like, it's okay. Like, I know he's got to step away, but like, he's a really good guy. And like, everyone is wrong about him.
Oh, including the police? I don't understand. It's just like, it's almost
dude,
like
the kid came on to him. Let's
right,
I was gonna say it's almost like a beautiful testament to like the human will that this guy's like, you know what? Yeah, I'm a convicted child molester and I'm not supposed to leave my house, but I just want to be somebody, baby. Like I'm just gonna be. It's like, what the fuck is going on? You cannot. The ankle bracelet is not enough to keep him. What do you call that thing? You know what I'm talking about?
Restrained.
Yeah. Dude, improv is one of those things where like, there's so many things in life where like, say My Little Pony, okay, that animated baby show.
Of course.
You know, the audience for that is
it's for babies?
No, sorry. So, young adults.
Okay,
but,
thanks.
The audience for that is like decrepit, disgusting, usually pedophilic. But I don't hate the people who make My Little Pony. It's not their fault that like grown men are watching it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff like that where it's the audience that's fucking retarded or whatever. We are past the 10-minute mark, so feel free to call anyone fag or retard, my friend.
Thank God.
Yeah, I know. Brooke is like
we made it.
Thank God.
We made it.
Improv's one of those things where the audience, the person who watches improv is a sick pedophile fuck. And then the person who does improv is equally as disgusting and twisted.
It's bad, yeah.
It's the one thing where it's like everyone loses.
It's basically like, you know the analogy where it's like, oh, if a guy builds a bridge and then somebody kills somebody else on that bridge, like you wouldn't get mad at the dude with the bridge. But improv is like the dude built the bridge and like left knives there and put a sign that was like, you should kill people here.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
It's the same thing.
Well, there's something else about it too with speaking on that, which is why obviously outside of all the fucked up people in that particular school, what I realized about improv itself is that when you get really good at it, you can really manipulate people into doing and acting out whatever you want. And that really is the scary, sick
talking
part
about
about it.
in real life or on the stage?
On the stage. And you can take those and put,
I'm trying to figure out a way to yes and my way into some pussy, but I don't know if that would work.
It's like if you're someone, and the person who made this whole thing is fucked up enough that's like, and I can think through in that thought pattern of like, well, if I know you enough, I'm on a team with you, and I like you or I don't like you, initially when you're working with someone, you're subconsciously, because it's all improvised, you're subconsciously making choices that you naturally would do anyway because of all these like feelings that you have about whoever you're working with. And if you're that fucking fucked up and you've practiced analyzing yourself enough to know what your responses are and how that can kind of elicit a certain response that you want from somebody else in a scene, you can get away with a lot. And a lot of it, there are so many stories about people who have classes with people where they're getting like groped in
That's
scenes.
whack. Like the guy's trying to be like funny or something.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's really, really. It's
Siri,
really
look up nearest improv studio I can sign up for.
It's crazy.
That's wacky. Yeah, I can't imagine. I know people like that who suck and are weirdos who would 100% use that as an opportunity to do something, but that's just so weird to me. Like, especially because like improv's supposed to be like fun and goofy. I think Harris just died.
I was like,
he was staying still for a few seconds. Yeah, and I was like, huh. He'll probably hop back in. He was so offended. He's actually a really big improv fan.
He's a big fan of groping. Was pretty
yes,
upset
exactly. Who isn't, baby? Who isn't? Yo, while he's gone, what's next on your agenda? What are you working on? Anything crispy?
I'm working on. I did a solo show in February.
For real? What is a solo show? You write and direct it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I put together. That? Oh my god, it was awesome. I put together maybe like 50 minutes altogether of like. I took stories of my own life and then put stand up in it and put little bits that I wanted to in it, and that was really fun. And it turned out to be a very like successful show out and whatnot of people. And,
that's sick.
Oh, hello. Hi.
Mr. Harris. Dude, I thought you were offended. Or you were going to go sign up for the nearest improv studio. Oh, I can't hear you. Well, he's figuring that out. So tell me more about this one-woman show.
So I did a show in
Was
February.
There a plot or it was just like comedy?
There was a basic outline of like going from, I wanted to talk about the concept of cringe and being like growing up, and I had like a bunch of videos of me when I was younger and kind of talking about my journey with that, just kind of taking concepts from the stand-up that I have and just elaborating on a personal level, and that was really fun. I did some stuff like I did like a guided meditation going through some dreams that I've had, that was my favorite part of the show. So I'm talking that was in February. This place is called Life World in Brooklyn, which is really cool, like DIY space. And I'm doing another one probably in November. I have to like lock down a venue, but I'm doing another solo show. This time I want to build off what I already did in the first one.
That's awesome. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay.
The Australian chick we're friends with who does comedy over there, she does like a one-woman show every month.
That's awesome.
But you should totally just go in and steal hers and bring them to America. Yeah,
I want to meet her.
You don't want to meet her.
That's
I'm trying to get her on Cold Cuts, but I don't know if Harris is going to allow it.
No, what? I wouldn't care. That's okay. I haven't spoken to her in a long time, but yeah, that'd be fun.
I'm just trying to get in there and call her names, throw the C word.
Who is this person?
No, just like
girl that we went to school.
Okay.
Nobody, yeah.
I'm just spiteful and a jerk. So
okay.
Do you like? Does it happen to you sometimes where you go in to like do a routine like a show and somebody's performing after you or before you or something, and they just like kill, and you're like, what the fuck, man? Like this person just totally like killed my vibe. Does that happen? Do you
It
say
def
do you link up with those people after and say like, oh my God, you were so good, or are you just do you just fucking absolutely cold shoulder them and you're just like, bro, you totally just fucking ruined my set.
Huge. Okay, this is a great question. I tend to be, I tend, okay, so it's like if somebody kills before you, it's not their fault that they killed. It's like, okay, cool.
Uh-huh.
Now now it's like, okay, they warmed the audience up. And
Mm-hmm.
you have to kind of acknowledge that that already happened. You can kind of play with it, twist it, instead of
Mm-hmm.
it being like, well, fuck that. Because some people get like that. It depends on my mood, but usually I'm pretty like easygoing like that. As for
Mm-hmm.
talking to people after, I usually like to do that, but if I'm not feeling social, I will just sometimes message them on Instagram after. I'm a very like I like to be sweet, but
That's
yes.
nice. That's good. That's definitely good business practice.
Yeah, for sure.
We were, we just started the podcast not too long ago, and I know like the big one that just broke up, but that it seems like just everybody is talking about. I had never watched it. Was Cumtown? Did you ever listen to that one?
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
like I had never listened to it. I know that they have a
Why did you
huge
say yes
audience.
like that, Brooke?
Oh, because it's sad that they broke up.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no.
okay, okay. Well, not really. I mean, they're still doing it. It's going to be the Adam Friedland show.
Oh, right.
I think Stav was a little bit of dead weight, in my
Stav
personal
is one of
opinion.
the best stand-ups I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, there you go.
I
There
don't
you
know.
go.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well,
Have you seen him live?
No, I haven't. So I
You
guess I can't speak on
That's
it. But I
fair.
did
He's
just
really
see
amazing.
Nick Mullen 2
Oh.
days ago.
Yeah.
He was very pretty. He came out, shook everyone's hand, gave me a little hug. I
That's
autistically
nice.
gave him some trading cards. So
He was like, "Thanks."
Thank
he
you.
asked
You're
if it was blow, and I said no.
That's
I
good.
love
See,
that.
this like
Yeah.
little 20-year-old chick walked up and like put a huge bag of blow in his pocket,
He's like,
right
"Thank
before
you."
me. Yeah, I was
Awesome.
like, damn, I gotta get back into stand-up comedy.
No,
Just gonna be
yeah.
giving you blow, like
We
Teenagers are
I'll
gonna
give
give you
Stav a
blow.
chance though. Would I
well
get the same feel of his live performance as his? He just dropped like a YouTube special.
I haven't seen the YouTube special, but I'm sure it's the same kind of energy. Though live, it's like it's really good, and he's
Yeah,
really
I
affable.
when I was just watching a couple clips because I had never seen it, but I keep hearing about it, and at least like Stav seems to fill a role that I kind of feel like we're missing on this podcast is just the dude who is going to like laugh so loud at everything that's said
We
because
do
it just
need
like
that guy.
it just brings like the energy
Totally.
way
We
up.
need that guy, bro.
But I at the recommendation of Zach, because I had no idea where to begin, like where you begin with a podcast. It's been like running for years, and Zach was like, "Oh, dude, like one of the funniest bits is when they're talking about like Nigerian
African
Shark
guy,
Tank."
African
Yeah,
voice.
and
Yeah.
so I ended up watching that, and it YouTube auto played into just like a 2 hour long compilation of all like African guy content from like Cumtown. And like that accent is really funny. So I've only seen that content from Cumtown, but just when he's like when they're on Shark Tank and he's like, I would like $6 to buy Dina. I like that. Yeah, he's so good. Like
You
it's a
gotta
funny
be
bit.
you gotta be the ethnic guy. You gotta start doing ethnic
I
racial
don't
voices.
I can't do accents. I don't know how to do any of that shit. Like I don't know. Yeah. I think maybe we need to like bring the goofy factor up a little bit on here. Sometimes we
We'll
just
tweak it. We'll tweak
tweak
it a little
it.
bit. Brooke, you
Yeah.
got any good ethnic? Can you do a Chinese lady? Give us your best Chinese lady. Hit
Nah,
us.
I've been practicing. It ain't good.
It's
No?
no good. Yeah, that
Yeah.
one's tough.
Rats.
Yeah, I get
Rats.
that.
Yeah, it's a
We
little dicey. A little
There was
dicey.
something that's so funny. A friend of mine came up to me and was like, and he really pushes the envelope, and I love him and I love his stand-up. And he was like, Brooke, oh my God, I love that bit where you do like a Chinese accent. And I was like, I do not have any material doing that. I don't know where you're getting that. And I'm like, stop telling people that because it's not true.
Yo, this chick does the best
Yeah, I'm
Chinese
like-
voice.
Like, what are you
Is
talking
the bit
about?
about China?
Nothing.
I have no idea where he's making that up.
Did he
I
think
think
you're
he's
like
projecting.
completely avant-garde comedian who just breaks into different like ethnic voices throughout your set? Just
That'd
like
be
try it
great.
out. That would be
Uh,
ballin'.
Right.
Well, we always have this like it feels like we're always having this discussion on here, but you're a comedian, so it would be an interesting take. But like,
Apropos.
apropos, do you think that like, is there still a place? We kind of covered it a little bit earlier, but like, is there still a place for like edgy comedy, or do you think that the fucking casket is closed on that shit and it's all been too irony poisoned and there's just no fucking reason anymore?
I think that edgy comedy still exists, but what the content is different now. It's like, what can you say? You can make things edgy about hot button topics that maybe aren't the same hot button topics that would have been maybe 5 or 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, I'll make jokes about guns, and sometimes people get really tight about that. And sometimes they don't. It depends. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, so much of it depends on your delivery and your personality that you show and that you don't show, that you don't realize that like you are come off that way. Like if you come off as warm, you kind of say a lot. You can push it, the edginess a lot.
Well, I think like you said earlier too, is if it's funny too, I feel like is the main factor. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, being funny is like, you can get away with a lot more if the shit is actually funny.
Absolutely.
That's the hard part, right? I mean, you could say offensive things, like you could just be spouting racist, offensive, terrible things, you know what I mean? Like constantly, and none of it will be funny. But like I think there are ways to do it. Not necessarily racist shit, but just like you can say things that are offensive or maybe upsetting in a different context, but if you do it skillfully and if it is funny, people will give you a pass.
Absolutely.
The reason people get like canceled and shit is because it's not funny. Like you say something that's not funny and then you open the door for criticism. Well, not only are you not funny, but actually what you said is also really fucked up. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's I think the issue.
And so much of that comes with the person who's saying it, like how they say it.
For sure.
Like, you know, that's like huge because it's like, hey, you know, I didn't mean it like this or that. Blah, blah, blah.
Have you seen, because you know you're bumping shoulders with other comedians, have you seen anybody like get canceled in real time, like somebody that you knew or was in your circle?
I've known people around who've gotten soft canceled. A lot of that's for their personal behavior instead of their
sex
like
pests.
That's appropriate. That makes sense. Yeah.
So
okay.
You weren't there for the Kramer set at Idiot Box or whatever.
Unfortunately, not. That would have been so insane.
Rats.
That's like an iconic moment, you know.
He should have. It's so unfortunate the like alt-right comedy scene wasn't popping at the time because he could have transitioned into that beautifully, dog.
Oh my god! Like
he would have been a Cumtown guest. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, it feels like we talk about this from time and again too. Is that it feels like the alt-right thing that was like inescapable as recently as like 2 or 3 years ago feels like it's like totally imploding, but going out with like a whimper, like just like, you know,
everyone is dying, dude.
It just so doesn't good. It feels like a lot of those guys are really depressed and lonely now, and just like it's weird how much of a fad it felt like. It really was like trendy to be like, I don't know, like it didn't even feel political. It just felt like this weird, like really angry subset of the internet.
There was a time in college where it was back in my more Trump days where it was more lighthearted and fun, you know what I mean? But it quickly morphed into
became too real.
Yes,
it definitely got too real.
Yeah,
but it was like, okay, got it. So you're like that, actually. It's really sad.
And it became even worse than it becoming too real was that it became like boomer. Like it became all of a sudden, once the old people caught wind and they're like, oh, the kids are saying this online, like I want to do this too, and then it became not.
Dude, I'm so happy though, and Brooke, I encourage you so much because I know this humor's right up your alley. You like seeing people being real and it being cringe. Don't make an account because then you're gonna get canceled. But go on Gab.com and just scroll through, dog. I saved one on my phone the other day. That's just like Melania Trump, and it's like, the left has Lady Gaga. We have Lady MAGA. It's like it's just so, dude. It's all like that. It's so you're gonna go nuts. The shit on Gab is so fucking funny.
Thank you
I think
so
I have
much.
a couple more.
Some of it is really like it is jarring. I wouldn't even say frightening because you're just like, these people aren't real people, but it's like
they are.
I know they are, but like the shit that is said on there sometimes that Zach will screenshot and send to me, I'm just like, good God, man. Like, what are you saying? I mean,
Dude,
Bad.
oh my
this
God.
one has like a meme template set up, so you're waiting for the punchline, and it's just like Joe Biden, and it says, "I don't want to see him in jail. I want to see him killed," or something, and it's like not even a joke, dude. It's
Evil.
so funny.
That's like
Here's
what
another one of the classic ones where it's like
what is
that
it?
old man in town with the Vietnamese veteran hat on was once more badass than you'll ever be. And it's like, dude, what am I
Like,
supposed
who
to
is-
glean from this?
Like, who is this
making
for?
these?
I know. It's like the Vietnam veterans that are scrolling through
Mm.
Gab.com and they're just like, I still got it, baby. Like, you know what I mean?
Dude.
I don't
And I'm also like,
understand.
why don't you hate the government more?
I
I don't
know.
understand that either. I don't understand
Government
that.
like
It's-
literally destroyed you.
It really feels like the right and left, the far right and left are like just too stupid to realize they agree on a lot of the stuff. Like, dude,
Absolutely.
like,
Yes.
fuck the cops, all the cops need to die, and the right's like, yo, fuck you, how dare you say that? And then this FBI shit with Trump happens, and the right's like, yo,
Fuck
fuck
the cops.
the FBI. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, dude, you guys are so.
It's so
Oh,
upsetting.
I hate it. I hate it.
I know. People just want to have you want to have the other, right? You just want to have those
Mhm.
people. It's just like, oh, like fuck those people. They're soft, or they're brain rot, or they're
We
whatever.
Need to,
That's
we
you
need
know
to
what I mean.
come
And, like,
together and designate that as Filipinos.
yeah.
We need to just come together and
I
agree.
would just like it more if I actually like the Team Edward, Team Jacob thing that we got going on in society. But like I wish it was just about something that was like cool. Like politics aren't cool to me, but if there was
For
something that
sure.
was like I don't know, like if it was about dinosaurs or fucking something, wow, this is a complete I'm so sorry, this is a total tangent, but you know what I was thinking the other day? Like the versatility of the word cool, where like you could say that like James Dean is cool because he's like cool. But you can also say like dinosaurs are cool. But it's like, what
Right.
is it about dinosaurs and James Dean? Like there's this like you can't like say what's similar about them. It's just that they're both fucking
They're both
Right.
cool.
They're both cool.
Dude, dinosaurs will always be cool because there's still that little kid inside of you who's just like T-Rex. Like just like we'll never not find that shit cool. Like
Yes.
we managed to talk about animals and dinosaurs, I think, every single episode.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
I guess it sounded like I was like denouncing fossils the one episode.
That was fun though.
Yeah.
That was a good
I
time.
suppose.
Wait, you should send Brooke the picture of the shark that you showed me.
Dude, the helicoprion. I
Show-
fucking hate that.
You got-
thing. All right.
I think everybody will get a kick out of this. I sent it to a bunch of people after you showed it to me, and they were like, "No fucking way."
All right. Let me see if it might pull up on my phone. Let me see. So
And-
there, they
give the
claim-
context.
The left-wing scientists, Brooke, claim this is a real animal based on fossils. Okay, can you see this? Is that coming through?
Is that a rolled up lip?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Does that make any sense to you? They haven't even found a complete fossil. They just found the rolled up lip, and they're like, and
What if it's a
originally-
tail?
Yeah.
What's a
That's
tail?
literally what I think, that it's a tail, but their thought is like, they also think it's like it can uncurl.
Look at that.
And I'm like, dude,
Bro.
how is this? Like, I get it. There's weird shit down there. The sawfish has like that long sword nose and cuts shit
Mhm.
up, but like, I refuse. There has to be a mistake. There has to be a mistake, dude. It drives me nuts.
I feel like Brooke is sitting here right now, and she's like, "Why the fuck did I agree to come on this podcast?
Dude,
What
your
is this
career's been
shit?"
completely tainted. You're tied to.
Thank
Like,
God.
Dino
Oh
Bros.
yeah. You've
Um,
officially endorsed everything Vosh has ever said by coming on to this podcast. So
God.
congratulations. Yeah.
Oh, I was talking. I just saw because we had Vosh on the podcast like a week ago, and then like 2 days later, I saw a picture of him, like a thumbnail of it for his YouTube video that was trending, and the person was just like, I cannot believe this person has followers. Like anybody who follows this guy is a complete fucking joke. And the thumbnail was Vosh, like kind of like soy facing or something, and it just was like a thumbnail, and it just said like why eugenics are okay sometimes. And I was like, what is this? Like, what is he doing? But that meme was just so funny to me. It's just like, oh my God, Vosh, what are you doing, buddy? What is this shit?
Beautiful, silly man.
Silly man. Silly.
All right, we got like 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. Real quick before we get into the last of it, Brooke, where can people find you if we're trying to find you?
I think Instagram is the best bet, and my Instagram handle is dumbass.
It's like 10 S's, right?
It's 1D, 1U, 4 M's, 5 B's, 3 A's, 5 S's.
How do you remember that?
Easy for people to find you.
I know.
Yeah,
and people still find me. And people still find me.
I will say if you type in DU and then just like MMM, your shit pops up right away. You don't have to type in all the letters. Yeah. So
you got a Twitter too, right?
I do. Yeah, I do.
I've seen you post a little more scandalous photos over there. Some feet, some breasts.
Yeah, I used to. I'm all locked up now, so I have to behave.
Throw a little foot out there. Can we get a little foot on the pod?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm like,
nice. I actually do see some of like the buddies that I had in Brooklyn are already following you on here, which is
God, I want to know what's up.
Yeah. Anytime I'm looking up a comedian, you're friends with them, Brooke.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah. Very cool.
Oh my God, yay.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, Harris, are these friends of yours, are they funny?
Well, actually, one of them is my friend Sue. She goes by Sue Into It, and that is she is a DJ, I think primarily. Do you know who that is?
I do.
You do? Oh yeah. She's really cool, and she makes like very crazy, trippy. I'm not even gonna be able to describe it right, but like very cool, like dance music and house music and stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, that's dope. Very fucking cool.
Such a small world.
It's small world.
I know,
how small the world is. Other than the this one woman show. A lot of my female friends do one-woman shows. I dated this one-armed girl who did a one-woman show. I feel like that's like the white woman's quinceañera. It's like
I think so.
Yeah,
for sure.
Other than that, do you have any gigs lined up or sets? Are you working on anything crispy?
Yeah, I have a show. I have 2 shows this week. I have one show tomorrow that me and my friend are hosting at this bar in Brooklyn called Moot Bar, and then I'm doing a show that's like a storytelling show where I have to give off a horrible story of something that I did wrong, and then everyone gets to judge me for it.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
You want to give us a little taste?
Something about me. I'll save it, but it's something about me stealing something. So that'll be
nice. Okay, that's a classic. Well, as we have less than a minute, yeah.
As a classic, yeah. Harris, why don't you end us with some funny improv? Show us your improv skills.
Okay, let me think. Give me an accent.
Black.
It's not.
Black Chinese.
Oh, that's interesting. I think I need to warm up.